1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. We're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen, Blue Island, Beverly, Payless, and Allsup too. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
And belly on up to my 9-foot homemade oak bar, right here in my basement on the south side. My name is Chris, that's Bill, that's Mike. It's 30 minutes of good in a world of dumb known as Southside Pod. I am fresh off 4 days on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. It was a blast. I've talked about it on some of the other shows on the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network. Shout out to Rabbit Hole Distilling, Bardstown Distilling, and Whiskey Thief Distilling, that hidden gem. It's a farm that doesn't sell anywhere except for on the farm. Those were my top 3 if you ever go down to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. And this episode of Southside Pod is brought to you proudly by Family Waterproofing Solutions. They get named the Southland's best year in, year out for bowing walls, window wells, foundation crack repair, concrete raising. That's a foundation issue when you see that happening with your sidewalk, your driveway, your patio. Over a decade here on the South Side and available 24/7 at 708-330-4466. Mention Southside Pod, get a discount. Your basement's best defense is at familydry.com. We're going to do some word association when it comes to different areas on the South Side. We have some big news on the network I think you're going to enjoy hearing about. Plus, we're going to try out some new technology. Southside Pod is going video. The entire podcast is always going to be exactly where you're finding it right now. Anywhere podcasts can be found and always at southsidepod.com in audio form. But from now on, we're going to go out to some of our locations when we do the restaurant reviews and go to the breweries and see places on the South Side. And we're going to do video as well. You'll be able to find it on social media. You'll find it on our YouTube channel. The first such instance was done in Beverly. It's right here on this show. You're going to hear me mention that the video will be available when the show comes out. It won't. With any new technology, there's a problem. And I have lots of problems down here in the basement. But the video will be up very soon. For now, enjoy my trip to Beverly, Cork Kerry, to meet with a Beverly brewer that now is putting his beer on Southside taps all over the Southland.
A pitcher of beer, a pitcher of beer. Let's order another pitcher of beer. That pitcher of beer should come over here. I love that pitcher of beer.
All right, Southside Pod trying out the video thing. This is a new thing, and I want to bring in a good friend who I've been working with for years that's in the Beverly neighborhood, the owner of Open Outcry Brewing, right down the street of 109th and Western. John Brand is here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good.
Different setting, as always. I'm glad to be here with you. Thank you again for having me on one of your shows. Thank you.
Well, you've been on the EP podcast a bunch of times. I think Southside Pod once or twice, but this is the first time that there's actual video of it. So for those that are listening on the podcast, this should be on the YouTube channel as well for Southside Pod.
No kidding.
It may be a few days late because it's the first day I did it, but by the time you hear this on the podcast, you can actually see everything we're at. Check out the beer we're going to talk about. Get a little visual is what we're going to do.
Are you trying to gain subscribers or lose subscribers?
No, I think this will gain subscribers.
The
right?
two of us on video?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm on my good side. I don't know about you. I made you sit over there.
Thank you for having me on your first videoed Southside Pod. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you got big changes over at Open Outcry, which is going to explain why we're not actually at Open Outcry. We're at Cork Kerry, a couple blocks away at 106th and Western. So tell me what's going on at Open Outcry.
Big deal for us. Most of your listeners, I think, are aware. We've been a brew pub at 109th and Western for the last 5.5, almost 6 years, and we finally took the plunge and we started brewing at scale. We're packaging and we're now self-distributing our beer to different retail locations, bars, restaurants, and liquor stores.
And you got one right now that you're doing. You got the first one out, more to come.
That's right.
But what is this that I'm drinking right here? I like that. That's hazy.
So what we're drinking right now is Delirio, which is our double dry hopped hazy IPA, Citra hops, Mosaic hops, double dry hop post fermentation. It's just a beautiful beer. It's turned out great. It tastes great on draft. It tastes great in cans, and the launch has just been incredible. Incredibly fulfilling and rewarding considering the 5 years of work that went into us getting to this point. And here we are. I mean, we're on draft. This is like a, hey, mom, look at me moment, right? We are on draft at Cork and Kerry.
I know. I mean, like, here's the thing.
On Western Avenue.
You've given me,
right?
like, a list of places that you're on draft at, but, like, this is one of the first bars I ever walked into. Like, I mean, this is where my dad would, like, be like, let's go up and get a beer. You know, or let's go get a pint. I had a friend have a divorce. I sat here in these seats right here for like 8 hours one day and worked through it. I've been to so many Southside Irish parades, and I know that's coming up here on Western, and I'm sure they're preparing for it just like you're preparing for it, because I know that on Thursday of this week, they have the big announcement and the kickoff the parade season. We're going to be talking with the organizers soon. But this is a traditional place, and to me, it's got to be a big deal to be on this tap.
Well, two things. I'll make two comments on that. Number one, to be in some of these historic taverns and pubs and restaurants on Western Avenue like Cork and Kerry and Barney Callahan's and Ken's and other places that have agreed to take our beer in our first launch, our first can run and keg run, has been incredibly fulfilling and rewarding. I mean, just like you, I've been drinking in this place for how many How many years?
Long
right?
time.
And
yeah.
then now our beer is on draft here. It just feels really good, right? That's number one. Number two, 10 years ago, would you have thought that a local craft beer would be on draft at a traditional Irish Southside tavern like Cork and Kerry, right? I mean, that's a really big deal. It shows you where beer is going. It shows you that people's attitudes towards different types of beers have maybe changed a little bit. And yes, this is still an American light lager crowd here. However, once we put this beer on draft, we've been getting fantastic feedback, and I know the staff at Cork and Kerry has been getting great feedback, and the beer is actually moving, part because attitudes towards craft beer is changing, and you can now be on draft at a place like Cork and Kerry, number one. And number two, people support local businesses, and they see our draft handle on that tap tower, and they're giving our beer a shot at Cork because we're a local business as well. Incredibly fulfilling. Feels really good. I feel very fortunate, and this is just it's a thrill. It's a thrill to be on draft here. It really is.
Do you think it speaks to how much of a part of the Beverly Morgan Park neighborhood that you've become, that even though your brewery is 3 blocks away, right, that you could put something on tap at another location nearby, and people are like, oh, Open Outcry's on tap. Like, I'm drinking that. Even, I know I can get it 3 blocks away, but I can drink it here too. Because the thing is, like, if you weren't ingrained in the neighborhood, I think they'd be like, yeah, when I go down there, I drink their beer. When I'm not there, I drink something else. But instead, you're telling me, yeah, you're already moving through kegs over here at this place.
It's not only the support from the community that obviously the 19th Ward and the businesses in the 19th Ward get a ton of support from the residents, not just in Beverly and Morgan Park and Mount Greenwood, but Evergreen Park, Marionette Park, Oak Lawn, all the suburbs around us as well. But I think it also is a demonstration of how much collaboration and communication there is between the businesses in the 19th Ward, right? So
you guys have gotten closer too since the dark times. You've told me that before.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
Bill,
work together.
The owner of Cork and Kerry, Bill, and his team and his staff has been. Me as being sort of new to the business the last couple of years, he's been his door's always been open. He's always answered my phone calls. He's been a great resource for me, and I think it just demonstrates the collaboration efforts and the spirit of collaboration between the businesses on the south side. Right?
How many different taps you on right now? Ballpark it for me. You don't need to be exact. Nobody's going to check you. This isn't
draft. We're currently on draft between I think around 12 or 13 places. Most of them on the south side.
That's a great start. You just started.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then cans are available in most liquor stores and other spots. We're currently in about 42 locations, which for our first can release and our first beer launch, we're over the moon. We're so happy with the fact that everybody we called up that we've established relationships with in the last 5 years, we said, hey, would you give our beer a shot at your liquor store, at your restaurant, at your tavern, at your bar, and almost everybody said yes, and it was incredibly fulfilling.
What is the most fulfilling thing?
Sitting here with you.
I know.
Gazing into your eyes.
Getting on Southside Pod, I know it's a big deal for every brewer. But what is the thing where you sat there and said, "Wow, that's cool"? Is it when you saw the first handle on somebody else's bar? Was it the can and the artwork when you're like, "My beer is canned and it's going to be on store shelves"? Like, what is that moment where you sit there and say, "Those years I've been working for this. That's cool"?
I've been drinking in these places for decades.
Yeah.
And I love beer. I love beer culture. I love bars. I love bar culture. I love tavern culture. I especially love the culture of bars and taverns on the south side. The history is deep. And now to be on draft in one of these places, especially an institution like Cork Kerry, not just here, but at 35th Street.
Yeah.
Or 34th
you're down at the park as well.
Yeah, we're down at the park as well. It's
the home of the podcast, For Fans, By Fans, Socks in the Basement. I got to say that I'm contractually obligated. They're our sponsor.
Bill pays good money for that.
Yes, he does, so I have to.
You should say that. It's just really rewarding. We opened up a brew pub at 109th to build a brand and to earn the trust of beer drinkers on the south side, and it took us 5 years to get to this point. We finally felt comfortable brewing at scale and putting our beer in cans and kegs and being on draft at places, and the whole thing has just been it's just the last 4 weeks it's just been rewarding. It's been great.
This beer is really good, too.
Let's talk about the beer.
Let's talk about the beer. We got the beer here. People can see it on camera.
Please,
let's talk about the beer. This beer, first of all, hazy. I know that hazy's become like a thing over the years, the New England style IPAs, and you kind of already described what went into the beer. You go and you pick this beer as the first one coming off the line. I mean, first I can tell that it's because it's very drinkable. It's not too harsh. I think that it probably runs the spectrum. Like my wife would drink this beer as much as I drink this beer, and it was probably like, this is a beer for everybody type of beer.
Yeah, hazy IPAs have gotten traction in the market over the last, I don't know what, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, because it is a very approachable style. The non-craft beer drinker that usually is either intimidated by or not interested in trying IPAs or other what they would consider esoteric beer styles. A hazy is an approachable beer because, yes, it is bitter like an IPA. However, you got some residual sweetness in there that balances that bitterness out. And typically, the hops used in a hazy IPA also impart, in this case, and in many hazy IPAs, citrus-type notes in it that make the beer more approachable or less risky for people to give it a shot. Right? You're not a craft beer drinker and you're drinking American light lagers, but maybe you give a hazy IPA a shot over maybe some other craft beer styles. So for that reason and other reasons, we launched with the hazy first. I should also say that our head brewer, Eric Padilla, is just, I mean, he's an exceptional brewer, but the hazy IPA style is right in his wheelhouse, and he's very good at it. And the feedback in our tap room at 109th has been very clear that Eric's good at it. So this was the beer we chose to launch with.
Have you been injured at work? Then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
Let's break away from the beer, which I love, and just talk about what's going to happen behind me in about a month, where you're going to have the Southside Irish Parade. You've got to be gearing up at this point for that, thinking about what you're going to do. I know this place is probably already in preparation mode, like they're landing on the beaches of Normandy, because it's a big day at Cork Kerry. I guarantee it's a big day down at Open Outcry. I remember you had the bagpipers up on the roof, and just it is one of those days on this street that, I would imagine your business goes, this is one of our big spike days, and we got to get ready for it. I know were you in the parade last year or no?
We were.
You were. Are you going to be in it this year, or are you going to be at your place?
We are in it again this year as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what it's like that day.
So our plan for the day is, twofold. We're in the parade. So Open Outcry has you've been in it before, the 1948 Ford
I've driven around in
pickup truck. Yeah.
When John says I want to get in this old pickup truck and drive around and go have some beers, I go yes.
Yes. So
yes, I say yes when you tell me.
Smoke cigars and drive around in a 48 Ford. Right. That's what
we do. So now that we have video, we'll have to videotape ourselves doing that one day. We'll put the video thing right on the console, and we'll have John and Chris in the what is it, 1948 Ford?
1948 Ford F5. Yeah.
Perfect. It sounds great.
So we'll be in the parade we'll be in the parade with the truck, with myself, and then we'll have a band on the back again as well. And then for us, we, like every other bar and restaurant in the street, we clear out all the tables and chairs. We try to manage the crowd. We try to provide everybody the best time we can, considering the volume. We overstaff. Every employee we have works that day.
Is your place one of the places, if parents have a kid, they can get in there, or not that day?
Families are more than welcome. But this year, what we're going to do is offer the rooftop beer garden that overlooks Western Avenue and looks over the parade route. We're going to offer that up to Mug Club members first. And if the Mug Club members don't fill it up, then we'll open up to the public. But as of right now, it's exclusively for Mug Club member use.
All right. Plug your place for a second. What do you got going on? I saw a Mardi Gras menu. You're doing heart-shaped pizzas for Valentine's, right. and you're getting ready. So give everybody just a quick 30-second, like, what's going on at Open Outcry right now.
In the next 2 weeks, what we have going on. So we have Valentine's Day, like we've done in previous years. We have heart-shaped pizzas available upon request all week. This week we have an adult-only couples heart-shaped pizza.
Well, it'd be weird if you had
class.
It would be weird if you had 12-year-old couples showing up for your heart-shaped pizzas, wouldn't it? It'd be strange. I mean, I know it is Beverly. They start dating at 9 here, but I mean, it'd be strange.
But they're under 21, so they couldn't consume alcohol anyway. So
well, it is Beverly.
Yeah. Yes. Let me steer this. Let me steer this back.
I love Beverly. My first place when I got married was in Beverly.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, all right. Heart-shaped pizzas all week. Couples heart-shaped pizza making class. Leading up to Mardi Gras, we have a Mardi Gras menu. We have Mardi Gras drink specials. We're dropping new beers, if not every week, every other week. So, yeah, stop in. If you haven't been in the brewery in a while, come and check it out. Food's great. The beer's great. The service, our staff is just, as always, fantastic.
Listen, look for Delirio. It's all over the South Side. It's on tap in 12, 13 different places. It's in cans at so many other places. I think he said it was in the 40s or 50s, the amount of spots that have it right
we're
now.
About 40 locations.
Right. It's growing right now. It's going to be all over the place. It's at Cork Kerry, where we're at right now. It's at Cork Kerry at the park. And it is going to be a fun month along Western Avenue, just based upon what you say you've got going on. We've got Delirio all over the place on taps. We've got the parade coming up in a month. It should be. I'm basically going to live on Western, I think, for the next 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things happening.
Then I'm going to have to go take a long nap.
Hey, before we drop,
what?
I just want to say thanks to Bill and his entire staff at Cork and Kerry for not only putting the beer on draft, but I mean his staff. When I came in here and talked about the beer, they were interested. I've overheard them talking to customers about it and describing the beer and selling the beer, and I just want to thank Bill and his entire staff at Cork, not only here in Beverly but in Bridgeport as well, for the support of us.
They've always had an incredible staff. I have in fact, I'm not even going to say rarely. I have never had an instance where I've walked in and been like, oh, that was terrible or something like that. They are on it with everybody. They're friendly. They're friendly on a Tuesday night when there's 4 people in this place. And they're
Bill.
Friendly on a Saturday when the place is packed.
Bill, too.
Bill's a friendly guy as well. You're a friendly guy. It's very friendly on Western Avenue, and we're drinking some good beer. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
It's the Southside Pod.
It's the Southside Pod.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
It's the Southside Pod.
It's the Southside Pod.
OMG.
OMG!
It's the SSP.
It's the SSP.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God!
It's the Southside Pod.
It's the Southside Pod.
You know, I got to tell you, I like to make my money work for me. I like to protect it in weird, uncertain times. I like to grow it so I can retire someday. Bill feels the same way. Mike, not so much. His wife will probably leave him for somebody that's richer when he's old and decrepit and can't take care of himself anymore. The difference between Mike and then me and Bill is that Bill and myself are with Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Tom comes up with a plan. He works with you. He figures out where you are in life, where you want to go in life. And he communicates constantly. No matter if you're starting out or you're getting towards the end and you want to make the right choices, reach out to Tom and talk to him today. 773-779-0023. With over 2 decades of experience right here on the South Side, he's been taking care of everyone that's got a functioning brain. Mike, not so much. He's also right on the corner of 111th and Kedzie. If you're nearby, stop in, say hi. Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor. I had an idea.
Oh boy.
God.
Oh, come on. No, I think this is interesting. Oh, you guys.
Hey, Bill, Chris has an idea. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You got your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
All right.
No,
here
because
we
we're
go.
Southside Pod and we go in all these different places. And I'm trying to concentrate on getting into all the suburbs almost equally, right? Like if I'm going to be in Lamont one week, get the Blue Island the next week, get the Palos the next week. I'm trying to spread us around because I notice that people sit there and say, you haven't been in our town in 6 weeks and you guys suck. Like I get responses like that. People get mad at us. So I'm trying to like really plan it out. But what I want to do in the meantime is do a little thing where I throw out a suburb and let's see if either one of you or even me, if you guys can't come up with it, can come up with one thing you like about that suburb.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to do.
So it's like a game show?
It's kind of like a game show.
What
Okay?
do you like about that burb?
Yeah.
Burb, like a blurb about a burb?
You're thinking this. You're thinking about this too hard.
Okay.
This is your idea is worse than his
Yeah,
idea.
yours is- yeah. somehow you've made a bad idea worse.
All right,
okay,
all right,
is
all
what
right,
you've
all
done.
right.
All right, so here I'll give you some low hanging fruit right here.
Okay.
we're gonna go with one.
Starting easy.
If
Wait,
it's
what
not-
are we
start with an
supposed to do?
easy
You
one.
name a burb and we say
a
what?
burb or an area because there are neighborhoods in Chicago,
Okay,
right?
okay,
so
gotcha.
like if I go with a neighborhood in Chicago,
And we have
it's
to
the
say
same
whether
thing.
the best thing we like about
The
it?
thing you love the most about it. We
All
can do.
right.
How about this? You tell me what you think would be better. Thing you love the most about it, or the thing you know the most about it, like your instant reaction, first thing that comes into your mind.
like a
First thing that
word
comes into your mind.
association.
Yeah, here we go. First thing
Oh,
that comes
no,
into your mind
this
when
is
I
gonna be
say.
bad. Don't say it.
When I say what?
Don't say it.
Mount Greenwood.
Pops.
Pops. The beef stand. That's what he's going with.
I was going to say city workers.
See?
Teachers and
This is how this works.
cops
Okay.
and firefighters.
Okay.
If I wanted to expand on it more, I could go with people who drive down Central Park and don't realize that it's actually 2 lanes because they go right down the middle,
Erica.
right over the yellow dotted line. Okay, like my wife. Okay, and people from Mount Greenwood. Okay, so here, let's try another one. We'll go with Orland Park.
The mall.
Family Video.
Family
video. Right. Family video.
It was there forever at
I love it.
That's a
143rd
good
and
one.
LaGrange.
Hundreds of family videos.
wins.
But Orland Park.
143rd and LaGrange forever.
He
it was
wins
there.
right there.
Family
That was,
video.
in fact, I'm going to start awarding points. Like, whose line is that anyway?
Come on.
You get 1,000
I got
points
the
for
whole
that one.
mall.
You get 1,000 points for that one because it's better. Family video is even better than the mall.
You said word association, so that's the first thing I thought
I know,
of.
but his word
Who
was
doesn't
better.
think of the mall? He only got family video because I said the mall. If he said
So
the
he
mall, I
took
would have
the
said
mall.
family video.
All right. I'll give you 1,000 points too.
right,
Okay,
go.
calm down. Okay,
Are we
here go.
tied now? I'm so confused.
Yeah,
There
tied.
we go.
Okay.
Let's try another one. We'll
Mike
go.
goes first this time.
Okay, we'll go with Oak Lawn.
Primos.
The park district. Their parks are top notch.
Parks are top
Ooh,
notch.
I think
okay.
Bill wins that one.
You really?
Their parks are awesome.
I was going to go
Primos
with
is
Primos.
amazing,
I was going to go
though.
with Primos going.
Yeah,
I thought that
Primos.
was a solid one right there.
Their parks are awesome.
All right,
That
let's go with-
indoor trampoline stuff at the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Let's
great.
go with. Well, I'm just. I. Do you want me to split the Paloses up or just go Palos?
Well, I don't know how to differentiate.
It's hard for me. I
I
can't
don't know
tell
which
which
one
one's
is which. Because
Yeah.
one of them's good.
But we don't know which one.
Right.
them's
One of them is pretty ghetto, I think. Payless.
You're not sure which one.
No,
it
but I don't
is.
even want to say. I don't want to
Okay.
give a guess.
All right,
Not
we'll just-
ghetto.
we'll just go-
But compared to the other one.
Compare the other
Right.
one. Okay, here we go. Palos.
Which one?
Any one of them.
The hospital.
The hospital of all the
Damn it,
business.
that's what I was gonna say.
You said word association.
The hospital, huh?
Trio?
What was the Italian place we've been to a bunch of times?
I don't know.
The hospital?
Most of our moments, most of our time together has been pretty forgettable. buddy.
That
It's
is
like,
true.
It's
They
in
serve
and it's out. I
spaghetti
forget
We
sometimes.
about
remember
it.
it and then we forget it.
Yeah, I don't remember. Alsip.
The pool.
The pool? Which pool?
The Jewel pool.
There's nothing else in Elsip. He spoke first.
Every summer, the Jewel parking lot turns into a pool.
It's amazing. People bring their rafts and their kids.
It's pretty
Their
awesome.
floaties, their surfboards.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
There's nothing else
It's
there.
on Pulaski.
I know, nobody believes it. Nobody believes what I say. Okay, here we go. Evergreen Park.
DEP podcast.
No, come on, you can't use that.
You said a word association.
The first mall of America was the first real mall in America. Was
Ted
Evergreen Park.
Kaczynski.
That's true, and the Unabomber. But I like
yeah,
how the
he's-
EP podcast is right at the top
The
of your
town
mind.
I was born in.
You were born in Evergreen
Was
Park.
born in Evergreen Park.
Really?
Little company
You the
married.
Unabomber?
Oh, everybody was born in little couple.
Yes,
That's where I
everybody
was born.
was.
When you Wikipedia
Every
people
kid-
born in Evergreen Park.
It's where my daughter was born, and we went to the book in February of '77, and I found my name.
He's gonna make up some neighborhood we don't know,
Oak
Bill.
Forest.
The bowling alley.
The mental health place.
Yeah, that's true.
There is.
That's a good one.
That's what I always think of.
That
when I
was
think of Oak
crazy.
Forest.
It's closed now, but it was crazy when I was a kid. Like, you didn't want to walk by there or nothing. It was weird.
Tinley
You
Park.
would hear screaming.
You would hear screaming in the Oak Forest one?
Absolutely.
Really?
It was creepy.
Wow. I've been in that building before. I know that Cook County does training in there for the sheriff's police.
yes, they do.
And some of the people that work there will say that when they go into the abandoned buildings, they hear all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. But that
It
could
was
just
like
be-
one of those like old school like
Yeah.
bad ones. Like
Well, it's one of
Cuckoo
those.
Nest
It's
type.
one of those really. It's
Nurse
one of those
Ratched
haunted
worked
places
there?
on the south
Yeah.
side. It's definitely a haunted place on the south side. if you
Bowling
read
alley was
about
awesome. That's where I learned to bowl.
it. Not a lot of screaming there though.
Not as much.
Okay.
Just when you leave that 7-10
When you- when
split,
you- when
that's
you-
all. Yeah.
Yeah, or you lose at the skill crane.
Yeah.
It's now time for your Southside Pod Bulletin Board, brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to give you an alternative. They have a great taster bar, amazing CBD products. They're in a new location, Northeast Corner, 95th and Kedzie. See all they have to offer at coolcloudsvapor.com or visit them at 3148 West 95th Street. Friday night, 10 p.m., 2-hour show by the Ron Burgundies, 115 Bourbon Street in Marionette Park. $5 cover to go see them. There's always time for yacht rock, especially on a romantic pre-Valentine's Day weekend, right? Speaking of Valentine's Day, Saturday the 11th, noon until 6, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre Horror and Oddities Market. Over 50 unique vendors selling oddities that range from bones and taxidermy to the dark arts, tarot cards, antiques, and vampire memorabilia. At least I think that's what this says. There also could be actual vampires. They encourage you to show up in costume in February for Valentine's Day. Get weird at 8100 Beloit Avenue in Bridgeview. Also on Saturday, Joe Ryan and the AM Drinkers. They're going to be at Blue Island Beer Company. They're there every second Saturday. It's a residency. $10 suggested donation. I would pay more for Joe and the AM Drinkers. Again, they take the stage at 7 p.m., 13357 Old Western Avenue. Also on Saturday the 11th at 10 p.m., Caution is playing live at Hearts in Evergreen Park. That's 99th Street just west of Western Avenue. And Friday and Saturday night, Winter Luau happening at One Allegiance Brewing in Chicago Ridge. In the middle of February, they are having a luau at 10215 South Harlem Avenue. And looking ahead to Valentine's Day, on the actual day, February the 14th, a dinner and beer pairing event going on at Hailstorm Brewing. Ticketed event, $155 a couple. Dinner starts at 6 p.m. It is a 5-course dinner and beer pairing. You can get the full menu and purchase your tickets in advance at hailstormbrewing.com. Last segment of the show brought to you by sidsauce.net. The pepper is grown here on the South Side, bottled on the South Side, and pretty much everyone that listens to Southside Pod lives in the area that they deliver to for free. Get all the details, check out all the sauces. There is something for every different type of food. They're all hot and delicious. sidsauce.net. A little news from the rest of the Broadcast Basement On Demand Radio Network.
What do we got?
Mind if
Little
I share
news.
this?
What's
Little
going on
news.
with our friends?
Our old friend Ed, remember Ed?
Yeah,
You
he's
know
not
Ed.
that old.
No, I mean,
He's not dead,
he's been our
right?
friend for a long time, so he's an old friend,
Oh,
right? All right.
sure.
He's a friend.
He and I started a podcast called Podcasting for a Living, and it is a
come
way
we're
to
not on
teach.
this, Mike?
It's a way to teach podcasters
making money.
how to
So
make
that's-
money podcasting.
All right.
Actually, I have a whole episode about how to get two guys to work for free, and that's it's
Oh,
amazing. Yeah.
That one's
So-
behind the paywall. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that one
So-
yet.
it's $5.99 a month if you guys want to hear how I duped you
we have
into
to
this.
pay out of here. Oh, we don't get paid.
No, we don't fit free.
The other thing that's going on though, remember the EP podcast
remember.
and my
Never heard of
co-host
it.
for a couple years there,
Yeah,
Hannah.
I do.
Hannah, yes.
Hannah's back.
She's back.
I brought her back.
Where was she?
Well, she
Hannah's
divorced my buddy
back, and she's
Dave,
better than
and it
before.
was a little nasty as it was going on.
I'm sorry.
And he
we
grew up
talk
across the
about that
street
on
from
the
me.
air?
Yeah, she's talked about it
All
on
right,
here.
sweet.
He grew up across the street from me, and I was like, "This is getting a little weird," and it was bleeding into the show, and I was
Oh.
like, "Maybe it's best we all just take a
Take
break."
a little break.
Yeah.
And
Little
the break,
vacation.
break's over now.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting about it is if you ever want to hear about a 38, 39-year-old divorcee trying to date on the South Side, it's compelling.
I was gonna say
I was
that's,
gonna say, that's a
probably
whole
good
podcast
listening.
on
Yeah.
itself.
Like it's all about Evergreen Park, but about 10 minutes a show is like what happened this week.
We
She
should
brought this.
do like a dating game episode for her.
I think it'd be great.
Southside dating game.
I think she's totally into it.
Bill
Too.
should be the host for that too. By the way,
Yeah.
Bill should
We'll
totally
get three
be
eligible bachelors from different suburbs of during the Southside Pod.
eligible
Oh!
in quotes. By the
You
way,
know,
for
that'd
the
be
South
great,
Side.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's gonna be three married guys.
Married guys.
Looking for a side piece.
Looking for little,
We got three married
looking for a
guys
little
from the South
Sunday
Side
date
looking for
after
something
softball.
on the DL, available on nights that he plays softball
Right.
or goes to his bowling
Right.
league.
When he's on daily date, he tells his wife he's working it. He can spend the night.
This could be great. This could be some great
And
Great
it's exactly what
content.
it would be,
Yeah.
too. I've already asked her, I'm like, how many married guys have you come across? She's like, none. I'm like, that you know of?
Yeah, right. All
Right?
of them.
All of
At
them.
least 50%.
Right. I mean, like, that's what you're... She's like, well, they're not on the apps. I'm like, are they not on the apps? Are you sure? I mean, I guess
like
being
dating
on...
apps? That's what
Yeah, I guess she's using a lot of dating apps, and I can get that because,
yeah,
like,
there's
you'll
no
get
married
caught.
guys
like,
on
if
the
you were
dating-
married...
yeah.
I don't know. Would you do
Why
that?
does she want to rush
Would
right
you
into
put your
things?
picture... If
She
you were
just-
I
going to
don't
cheat on
want
your
to
wife...
date ever again in my life, Chris.
Well,
No,
I don't
would not
either.
be on.
I don't either, but I'm just telling you, if you were going to date, would you really put it on an app? Like, that would...
As
like,
a married guy?
as a married guy, like
Why
somebody's
would
going to
no?
catch you.
Yeah,
Somebody's going to catch
absolutely.
you. You can't do that.
No.
So yeah, I mean, if she's using apps, I can imagine she probably has a run into any married guys, unless they're really stupid married guys,
It
and they're
is
probably
the
dead
South
by
Side.
now because they got caught
They
and
like
murdered.
got fake mustaches on.
My name is Jean Claude. Got a very long pencil mustache.
I think we should seriously think about doing this, though.
I think it's a great
The
idea.
Southside dating game.
How about this? It could be a crossover between the shows. Let's
Absolutely,
find
right.
three Southside
Right.
men, eligible bachelors,
Right.
that would like to date. Hannah
Right.
is I can't remember if it's 38 or 39.
Find
it's not
Hannah
40
a
yet.
banana.
Right. Find Hannah a banana. Get the web address for that one and put a .com after it. That's
Hannah the
amazing.
banana.
It's the Southside! It's the Southside! It's Southside Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod! Y'all come back now, you hear?